You know, there is truly nothing and no one quite like Jeff Keighley. It is rare to see someone try to pull off a character with the kind of directly opposed duality that he seems possessed by, haunted by, puppeteered by, I don't know. Equal parts knob-slobbing corporate sycophant bootlicker and industry apologist gaming I'm just like you guys everyman. To try to sit through anything featuring a large speaking part by this dude will make you feel like there's bees in your brain. He's so insufferable in such a nails-on-chalkboard way that literally nothing coming out of his mouth sounds sincere. He could tell me water was wet and I would think that someone was paying him to say that. The fact that people not only volunteer, but pay to be trapped in a room while he stands on a stage and systematically eradicates the joy from something they're supposed to theoretically love makes me want to chew on my own teeth. Where do they find these people? How this guy ended up being the default games industry presenter, I'll never understand. Well, I mean, actually, I take that back. In many ways, he's the perfect figurehead for the industry. Vacuous, insincere, and motivated by nothing but frothing, nonsensical greed. This guy could make people boo a Mario game. If I were a game dev, I would pay to have him stay away from anything I was working on. As you have no doubt surmised at this point, I watched and suffered through this most recent ejaculate scraped up off the floor of the games industry, so you didn't have to, G's. And having done so, I can safely tell you this. It actually wasn't all bad. You know, shop. Because we already did it last week, and because there was just so much garbage, we are not going to go through everything tonight. This may be hate boner edgelord of the channel, but sometimes there's too much, even for us. So in an effort to make this excrement more digestible? Ew. We instead are just going to talk about what I thought were the coolest or most interesting trailers from this year's Summer Games Fest and Xbox Game Showcase. When I started working on the video, it was only going to be about Summer Games Fest, but then Xbox had to go and drop shit like this. And I was forced to get deep inside once again. Oh my god, yes. New Doom, baby. It's been 4 years since we were blessed with Doom Eternal, and holy shit, it looks like it just may have been worth the wait. Doom Guy, or the Doom Slayer as he's now called, though admittedly I don't really love that, is back, and this time he's got even more 40k in his 40k. A chainsaw shield and a fucking ball and chain mace, plus a minigun that literally shoots ground up skulls. I had tears in my eyes watching this. I was breaking down. Full gameplay in the trailer, medieval gothic extravagance, dragons, demons, mechs, fur cloaks, and industrial metal. Fuck, bitch. Here's my 2025 Game of the Year, G's. No question, this looks like a banger. id Software, if you fuck this up, I swear to God, I'm gonna fit myself in the oven and never come out. Next we have, and don't dive shock anyone, Star Wars Outlaws? Yes, I know if you watch this, Jeff Keighley saying one of the year's most anticipated games next to Ubisoft in the same sentence makes it sound like worms are eating your brain. And even given anything with Star Wars in the title a second thought is bordering on lunacy at this point, but I can't help it, this does look kinda cool. I wish it didn't. I'd prefer to just go on unilaterally rejecting anything Star Wars. I like my life simple, thank you very much. But as I have said time and time again, we are the fairest show in America, and we tell you when stuff looks like it might be cold. And against all odds, yo, this looks like it might be cold. It probably won't be, and will likely end up the same as most Ubisoft projects do, overpromised, overexploited, overmonetized, and severely under-delivering. But in the interest of fun and optimism, let's take a brief moment as we watch the rest of this to imagine a world where Star Wars was still cool and Ubisoft made good games. Damn. Next up is, it's kind of a gimme, I admit. Anyone with even a cursory familiarity with this channel knows I go a big rubbery one for anything 40k, and oh man, is this some good 40k right here. Space Marine 2 got a new teaser and feature trailer, and oh my god, it looks awesome. I love it. If they fuck this up, I'll hang myself with an extension cord. They've delayed it enough, and shit, there was a time when even the very idea of a Space Marine 2 is unthinkable. More than a decade had passed, actually, since the original cult action hit Space Marine, and I, along with pretty much everyone else, had given this franchise up for dead. But then, out of nowhere, boom, Space Marine 2 announced. And then, boom, delay, then delay it again. But ever since the announcement of the September release date, it looks like this shit is on like Donkey Kong, G's, and I am here for it. Couch co-op, multiplayer, deathmatch, multiple classes, customization, full campaign co-op. I will seriously lose my shit if this isn't awesome. Calling it now. Next, even though I don't play it, we can't not mention Civ 7. One of the longest running, most popular, most legendary turn-based strategy series of all time is finally getting its 7th installment next year in 2025. This doesn't really get my particular jubblies jubbling, but you know, that's fine. I know it does for tons of y'all, and I am happy for you. I don't want any smoke with the Civ series, you good. Not only does this look great, but it is coming to consoles and PCs. Love it, awesome. Something I am definitely into, however, is a sequel to Kingdom Come: Deliverance. If you missed this first-person medieval RPG when it initially dropped, I highly recommend going back and checking it out if that kind of thing is your bag. It's super fun. It's one of those games that's realistic, quote-unquote, so the combat can be kind of infuriating at first, and you might bounce off the game a couple times as a result, but I do think it's worth it to push on through. Deliverance is gorgeous, the hyper-realistic art style is fantastic, it's got a good story, and it's got super interesting systems, but above all else, the concept and RPG taking place in real-world Middle Ages Bohemia, it's extremely original, it's awesome. Toss in period-accurate weapons, architecture, clothing, and combat techniques. You've got not only one of the most unique RPGs in recent memory, but a very good one as well. If the sequel can pull off even close to what the first one did, this should be very good. Keep in mind though, that's just my take, as someone who played it on PC with mods that fixed the archaic save system and absurd loading times. You may have played this on console at the time and hated it, in which case 1, you'd have been completely justified, and 2, not interested in the sequel at all. Moving on, I don't think it can be denied, geez, Xbox absolutely understood the assignment this year. Not only did they bring out a trailer for a new Gears game featuring not just Marcus Phoenix, but also Dom, which looks incredible, but they also dropped a new MGS3 remake trailer that showed actual gameplay. Uh-oh. Guys, don't do this. Don't give me hope. You can't. It's not fair. My heart cannot take it. Especially directly following that abomination of a Silent Hill 2 remake trailer. Already, like, at best, we were looking at this with cautious optimism. At best. And I don't think I need to tell any of you that Konami, to put it mildly, is on thin ice as it is. I could say a bunch of stuff like, oh, they promised to remain faithful to the original game, and it's only going to be a visual overhaul, the rest will be untouched, or every gameplay sequence shown is from the original. But, I mean, at this point, can we really call that anything but cope? I don't know, and frankly, I resent Konami for even putting me in this position. The fact that they're clearly, demonstrably, one of the worst dev/pubs on the planet, but also have an ironclad grip on the rights to multiple absolutely legendary, unparalleled legacy fan-favorite franchises, it's just too much cruelty, even for our world. I obviously would prefer to just forget about them completely, as I'm sure would many of you, but how can you when stuff like the entire Metal Gear IP is in their fucking hands? Ugh. No question, it is a cruel world, my G's, but don't worry, we will be watching this one, admittedly, against our will. As for the new Gears of War, this is far less of a long shot in my opinion. The Gears formula has been pretty well established, and personally, I like it. I think a lot of people do. So the announcement of a new one, especially one that brings back characters like Dom, seems kind of like an easy win to me. They'd have a hard time fucking this one up, I think. Bring back Dom, dial the timeline back to E-Day, throw in some new maps, couple lame one-liners, mix in some 40k chainsaw type shenanigans, modern graphics. Can't really see how they can go wrong. Back to basics, geez. Sometimes it's the right call. Moving on. I'm sorry, while we don't have to talk about the new Call of Duty World War whatever game, we do have to talk about that new Dragon Age trailer. Oh boy. I'm sorry, but I gotta say it. Miss. This is a hard pass, geez. I really wanted BioWare to pull it out the mud for this, maybe more so for a potential new Mass Effect game if we're being real, but yo, I'm sorry, but this ain't it. Not by a long shot. From the weird subtitle to the comic book art style, the absolutely horrific, tonally abrasive music in the background, the hero shooter style character archetypes, ugh. It is just all wrong. I'll reserve further judgment for the gameplay reveal tomorrow, but yo, my G's, my guy, bro, dude, no. Dragon Age 4 gets an official rating of
not like this.
Lastly, let's talk about the Perfect Dark reveal. Now, in many ways, Perfect Dark is a weird franchise. It's one of those games that somehow got a reputation as being like really good, when in reality, most of that is a holdover from a game that, while innovative and well regarded for its time, didn't really hold up. It's like GoldenEye or Tomb Raider and so many other games actually from around that slightly bizarre era that marked the industry's first forays into 3D. They may have seemed great at the time, but in retrospect, most of that was because they were just simply among the first games to do something new or pioneer a brand new genre like same-screen shooter multiplayer, and not because they were particularly excellent games. Don't lie, you know it's true. And honestly, even if they were, the devs behind the titles that originally garnered a franchise legendary status, they're long gone anyway. Do you think any of the original guys behind Tomb Raider or Perfect Dark are working on the new installments? Obviously not. However, all that being said, this new Perfect Dark looks like it might fill that gigantic Deus Ex-sized hole in my heart, and I am 100% here for that. And guys, if you think that I'm full of shit, go back and find a ROM of GoldenEye or the original Tomb Raider or Perfect Dark or something, Turok, and try to play that shit all the way through right now. I bet you cannot do it. If you can, shit, hit me up in the comments, tell me I'm wrong. But I don't think you're gonna. Anyways, let's do a final verdict because that's fun. Between Sony's State of Play, Summer Games Fest, and this Xbox showcase, yo, it's unanimous. We gotta give the nod to Xbox. I'm, of course, incredibly biased and honestly, probably would have been swayed by just a new Doom game alone, but then they brought out new Gears, an MGS remake trailer that didn't make me want to put my face through a beehive, and the Perfect Dark reveal. It's a wrap, geez. They even got the Dragon Age 4 reveal, even though it sucked. In a way, I almost feel a little bad for Summer Games Fest. It was really rough in comparison. They couldn't have let little old Jeff Keighley announce a few of those, you know, just funsies, little old Jeff Keighley. They probably just didn't want him anywhere near any actual good games, now that I think about it. I get that. Anyway, geez, we love you today, we love you all the way, and we will catch you Friday, news permitting.
Woke up, smoke up, blunt, then I pass out. Pass out. Woke up, what up, smoke up, blunt, then I'm back down. Back down. What? Yup, woke up, smoke up, blunt, then I pass out. Pass out. Woke up, what up, smoke up, blunt, then I'm